think it might be interesting to chat for a second about some of the similarities and also differences between Itadori, our kind of main character for the series, and Yuta, our main character for this movie. I'd say, first of all, Yuta feels like the main character throughout.
Yes.
And Gojo as a supporting character is heavily supporting. But I think it was you who mentioned it first about Itadori kind of falling off of the main hero wagon at some point. I mean, he literally has to pretend that he's dead. So he literally does kind of leave the main story for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you who you think is a better protagonist, Yuta or Itadori, but I think that Yuta's story is more interesting and engaging than Itadori. Itadori in the series, his only real motivation is, his grandfather is dying. Oh, spoilers for the series too. His grandfather's dying, and his grandfather basically tells him in his last dying breath, hey, don't end up like me. Use whatever kind of powers you can for good, and you don't want to end up like me with it just you here at my deathbed. You want to have friends. You don't want to end up like me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the sentiment is the strong must help the weak, which would be a lot more powerful if you had seen this first or read the manga for, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 first, because Geto's main thing is this very kind of Nazi concept, very social Darwinism.
Very Magneto.
Very Magneto, that the weak should die and the strong should live on. There's no reason for the strong to help the weak. So when the main character of the sequel is literally told, you're strong, therefore it is your obligation to help the weak, then it would, make him a perfect foil to this villain, and that might build up more of his kind of hero status for you.
Yeah, it's the Spider-Man with great power comes great responsibility thing.
Yeah. But Yuta just has a much clearer arc, a character arc.
Yeah.
Where he goes from this so withdrawn and I can't go anywhere so that I don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Because I have no control over this.
Yeah,
and
his cursed spirit.
He has
no control over it.
Beaten down.
Yeah.
And with Itadori, he's already why is that kid weirdly strong? Why does he run so fast? He's already got these little kind of almost tiny superpowers that we haven't had explained very much.
That's what I was going to say. He's super powerful, and even without cursed spirits and jujutsu training, he's super powerful and fast and superhuman, and there's no explanation as to why.
And maybe we'll get that later, but...
Maybe, but even the characters in this show are like, what the hell did you do?
I remember why does he already have this? Yeah.
One of the scenes, he punches through a wall, and Nobara is just like, did you just punch through that wall? And he's like, don't worry about that. No, I'm worried about that. How did that happen? But Yuta has a more clear story. You can see why he is the way he is. And
he's very motivated, and you can see why he wants to change. And you can see why he would work really hard, and we watch him progress like that. And I think that's one thing that makes something like Demon Slayer or Black Clover so satisfying, is because you see these characters who are so motivated to do something great, to do something amazing, and to become better, and you believe in their reasons why. And you watch them, not give up over and over, and it's super inspiring. And it has this feeling of well, then maybe tomorrow I can go do something great.
Yeah.
And with Itadori, it's must be nice to be really good at shit.
Yeah, he just shows up OP, and then he gets magical powers on top of that. Yeah. And it's all right, well, how am I supposed to relate to this?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it's fun to have a super mega powerful main character, but I want to see the build up to that, and I want to see how he got that way, as opposed to just showing up, no explanation for why he's so powerful, why he's superhuman strong, and his motivation is my grandfather told me to do good.
His grandfather was an asshole to him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and even the characters in the series are that's not enough of a motivation. Itadori, that's such a dumb motivation. You're only doing this because some guy told you to. And I get the sentiment is he was close to his grandfather. That's all his grandfather had was Itadori. So he wanted to do his best to like live out his legacy of like his grandfather's wish for him.
Yeah, honor his memory in some way when he doesn't have any other familial connections. That's a way that he's staying connected to family in some way.
Yeah, but I just don't care about Itadori as much as Yuta. Like, I think Yuta is a far more impactful protagonist.
Totally. And here's the thing. The reason why sequels are frequently not as good as the original is because they don't have an arc that's as strong. You don't have somebody starting from zero and working towards something or getting into this adventure that's so unimaginable for that person. And then they are forced to grow and change to adapt to it. And we love watching that. And then the next one, like the next film, they've already changed.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to throw in a new situation where they have to like change more, but it's not as drastic. Or you have to throw in new characters who are going to sort of enjoy the arc. You know, you have, and with long-running series, like let's say Grey's Anatomy, you have the first round of student doctors. And then when they get too good, you have to bring in new doctors who are now, you know, kind of like the focus of the story. But they've made this really odd choice with the sequel. It's a new protagonist, but you know what? Let's just start halfway through the arc. Why?
Yeah, usually with sequels, it's, you know, the first one is like how they become powerful. Mm-hmm. And then the second, like at least with good sequels, it's how their thinking becomes powerful, because the villain will like question their morals or their philosophy.
I like that.
Yeah, and I feel like this did a better job of that than the series. Like, because Gato's motivation is very similar, and it's like a time-tested thing of like Magneto, where like we're mutants, we're evolved, we're the next step in evolution. Jujutsu sorcerers are the next step in the evolution of humankind.
Yeah, I mean, and like it's so weird because we've never seen that in history.
But it's like, it makes sense. Like that's the typical villain motivation, and you can kind of see the point of it, and you don't agree with it. You see where it's evil and where it needs to be stopped. Thanks for watching that clip from the Anime Movie Podcast. Follow the links in the description below to hear full episodes, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more fun clips like this.